Okay, so today I'm going to show you how I wrap sea glass. I have a couple of pieces here. I think I know which one I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna use this one because it's got a nice shape to it for a pendant. Well, I'm not counting this as a tutorial. This is just me showing you guys how I do things. I'll show you what I do, what I use, and I'll try to go slow enough that if you want to do the same thing, by all means, and I would love to see your work when you're finished. And also forgive the wax paper. I am currently working on a glass surface, and I just thought, well, I don't know, I thought maybe the reflection would be too much. Yeah, that's kind of annoying. So for right now, I'm on a tight budget. So I'm gonna stick with this until I can find something better and that helps me stay in frame. But I'm gonna stick with this so that the reflection shouldn't bother anyone too much, or the color. All right, so the cutters that I use, or the tools that I use, I have this, stay in frame. I have this, I believe, I'm so not a long time professional with tools and stuff, but I call these little like flat nose pliers. So we have flat nose, or whatever they're called. If you know what they're called, you can go ahead and tell me. And then we have these round nose pliers. Okay. And then I have cutters. These are side cutters. So these are not gonna make a flat cut. It's gonna do more of a diagonal cut. I do, however, have these flush cutters. I believe I picked these up at Michael with a 40 or 50% off coupon, so they were around $4 or $5. But the nice thing about these is this side cuts flush, so it gives you a nice flat cut, which is really helpful for some things. I'm gonna go with antique copper, and I have that in 20 gauge, and I also have it in 26 gauge, which is a super thin, but it's really good for wire weaving. The other thing I have that I have not tried yet, and I may try today, is this. It is a 21 gauge square wire. So let's see if you can see. I don't know if you can pick that up, but this wire is actually square. It is not round, so it may help to sit nice and flush against the glass. So I may do that. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We will figure it out. That's kind of part of the fun part of crafting is, or being an artisan, is you really can do whatever you want. You know, if you like it and you think it's cool and pretty, then by all means, try it out. So we may be adventurous today and go ahead and try the square wire. And you know what? What the heck? Let's go ahead. Let's get some square wire going. So I'm going to, and I'm gonna really try hard to stay in frame. But let's go ahead and let's take, let's see. I do not have a ruler with me, but I'm gonna go ahead and say let's take Actually, maybe I do have a ruler. 2 seconds. Oh, okay, I do. I have a, I have my little teeny tiny, Slytherin ruler, but look how cool this is. It wraps up. All right, so anyways, this is a 6-inch ruler, so we're gonna go ahead and take about 6, 12. Let's go ahead and take about 14 inches. And I'm going to snip. And I always like to try to hold both ends because wire can be pretty tricky and can go crazy and fly everywhere. Okay, so what I want to do first is I want to make the bail. And how I'm going to do that is I'm going to go ahead and you can get bail making pliers. Like I said, I'm on a budget, so I'm going to use a knitting needle. And I think this size will be good. If you have it lying around, it's a 10 or a 6 millimeter. Those of you who need centimeters for my for your length, that's 15, 30. Let's go ahead and be safe and say 40 centimeters. But I'm gonna find the center-ish, and hopefully that's on camera. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna find the center-ish, and I am going to wrap my wire around the knitting needle 2 times. And what I'm going to try to do is I want them to cross. So as you can see, there's 1, 2 wraps and it crosses here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it, I'm going to hold kind of firm, and I'm going to give it 2 twists. 1, 2. Okay? So that's, get that a little closer. So that's how that's gonna look. And I'm gonna go ahead and take it off of the knitting needle and see it's got a really nice circle. Okay. So let's see, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? All right, yeah. So most of the time I do not, when I make jewelry, necklaces, pendants, rings, anything like that, I really don't have much of a plan. I just kind of go with the flow. You know, it's worked out thus far. So what I'm gonna do is I have already decided that I think this would be a good top of the pendant. I mean, I could do it that way and it could kind of look like a teardrop. Well, this kind of looks like a teardrop too, but kind of like, I don't know, a reverse teardrop. So I'm going to put this here. And let's go ahead and wrap this, take this wire, and let's wrap it and press. Wrap and press. I'm trying to keep the bail as straight as I can. Okay, wrap and press. And then, like I said, this is just going to be a simple one. And also what I like to do too is because you get this, like it's not a flat surface. So it's like a little, I think that's concave back there. And I just like to press my wire in, okay? And we're gonna take this one on the left And I think I'm going to do just kind of like a little cross down here. Okay, so as you can see right there. And there's a nice little divot here, so I'm going to kind of cradle the wire in there. And again, press in the back and hold kind of firm, kind of be rough with it. Okay, so as you can see, this is pretty good for right now. What I'd like to do, I think, is, although this is really beautiful, I think I want to do a swirl. I like to do swirls. I haven't done swirls with square before. Excuse me, with square wire before, so we're gonna give it a shot. And I'm debating whether I want to put a swirl here or I want to put a swirl here and kind of cover up that little imperfection, or at least camouflage it. So I'm gonna do a swirl. Oh, decisions. I'm going to do okay, you know what I'm going to do first? First of all, I'm going to take this and I'm going to kind of give it a bend. I'm going to take my pliers, hold it, and kind of bend it upright. How that is, and then I'm going to do the same thing on this one and bend it upright. Okay, so that way we have them coming up. And what I want to do real quick is I want to take these and I'm going to wrap it around like so. And that kind of gives it a nice cool little cap. Okay. And then now I'm going to come down and I'm going to do the little swirl here. But what I want to do is I'm going to cut this a little bit because that's going to be too much. I'm going to use the flat end of my flush cutters and I'm going to cut here. And see, I like to hold on to that. And I usually save little snippets. I mean, this is really teeny tiny. But if I decided that I wanted to make some links or whatever, this could be useful. So I'm going to take that. And I'm going to snip the other. You know what? I'm going to do 2 swirls. Because I just think it may not be a big swirl, but it could be interesting. So let's go ahead and give it a shot. So what I did was I took this back one and bent it back down towards the bottom so it could come up. And take it, bend it up, okay? Then I'm going to take my round nose pliers and I'm going to try to grip it as close to the edge of the pliers and as close to the edge of the wire I can. And I'm going to try to do this so you all can see. I don't normally hold the pliers this way because it's not good for my wrist. Usually, let me see if I can see this on camera. I have a weird setup, you guys. Like, this is not above my head. This is to the side. But I'm going to take this and I'm going to give it a little twist motion. And then another little twist motion. And I think that's cute enough. And so there we have a little swirl. And I'm going to kind of do the same thing on this side. I'm going to bend it a little bit, and if that swirl's going this way, I want the swirl to go the opposite direction. So I'm going to turn it around. Yeah, okay. I'm going to turn it around again here, as close as I can to the edge. And I'm going to swirl. I'm going to keep kind of swirling it. Because it's flat wire, it looks like it could start to twist a little. And that's okay. Okay. And there we have a nice little simple pendant. And what I can do is I can take these with my fingernail and I can bend them open a little bit. Gives it a little more airier feel, I think. So that's cute. So I'm pleased with how that came out. And what I can do is I have some of this cording. I have some cording, and I usually, oh, that's brown. I don't want brown, or do I? Ooh, maybe I do want brown. I'll do brown. All right, so I usually take, I don't know, a really good amount, because this isn't really expensive, and when I take pictures, it's nice to have it on something, but I just give it a little, I don't know where my scissors are, so I'm using kitchen scissors. So I really don't do anything fancy with this. I can do chain, this is right here, and I don't have any chain on hand. Or at least I don't think I do. I don't think so. So I'm just going to do, no, always helps if you put it on. Okay. And I'm just going to do a little knot. Just a little simple knot. I feel like a lot of people, you know, some people may like this. I have a pendant that I made that I wear with this cording. And it's cute and it's black. The cording is black, and so sometimes it blends in. But some people may not want a chain, or already have a chain that they want to put on it, and you know, I think that's fine. So the other thing I wanted to mention is, because we swirled these and they're pretty flat, and I just like to go ahead and make sure that I press everything. See, like right there, I press everything into the glass so that it holds its shape, and it is not, I mean, that one, I'm not happy with that. Like this one moves a little bit, which could be problematic. But we can fix that if we wanted to. It's not going to be super pretty on the back when I fix it, but we can. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with my 26 gauge antique copper. And this is very, very thin. I use this for wire weaving. And I'm just going to snip off about, I don't need that much, but better safe than sorry. So I'm going to snip off about 6 or 7 inches. And what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to loop these together. So I'm going to try to stick, oh, well, that's a good spot. So see how I can just thread that through? All right, I'm gonna thread that through there. And I'm going to go ahead and double it at this point. I don't want it to be too messy, but I think this could help stabilize that bottom wire a bit. And you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and cross it here. And I'm gonna do a couple of twists. Okay, so apparently by a couple, I mean like 3 or 4 or 5. And I can just flatten that down. And then I'm gonna try to find a spot. And all I have to do is just kind of move that up a little bit. And then I press back down. And so I'm just gonna kind of make sure it looks good on this side too. And then on this one, I'm gonna go in the opposite direction. And I'm just doing this so it kind of feels like it's gonna be a little more stable. Yeah, okay. And so I can keep doing that. If it lets me. I have this little kink there, so I'm gonna chop that off. Chop it off. I'm gonna snip it off. Okay, and I'm gonna come through again underneath those wires. And sometimes it helps to just grab your wire with your pliers. And it still looks good on the front. And then another time. And I don't want them to be too messy on the back. So, you know, I'm gonna try to get them to lay next to each other. Hopefully y'all can see this. Hopefully I'm not going too far off camera. And I am, but I'm sorry. I'll fix it eventually. Okay. I'm gonna take the other wire and do the same a couple of times. 1, 2, and then I can take my pliers and kind of pull on the wire pretty tight. Oop, okay, and it breaks. So that happens. No use crying over spilled milk. Broken wire. So what I can do with these flush cutters is I can come in and come really, really close. Give it a little snip or run my finger over it. And it's not catching anything, but you can go ahead and come in with your pliers and just give it a little smush. And then this one as well. So give it a little snip, snippity snip. And there. And see, now this wire doesn't move hardly at all. But I'm not thrilled with that space, so I'm going to try to close that up a little more. There we go. And that's the beauty too of wire working, is that you can literally, like, even though it's already wrapped and done and I put it on a little cord, I can still play with it and it's fine. And I want to rub my thumb on those because I haven't done, or my finger on those because I haven't done square wire before. So I want to make sure there's nothing that's going to poke anybody. And then again, just kind of flatten it out. Press it close to, as close to the glass as I can. Okay. And there we have it. And the square wire is kind of interesting. I don't have any other wrapped sea glass here that I can show you a difference. But I don't know. All right, so hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll come up with more. Maybe we'll do something a little more intricate next time. All right, guys, until next time, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon. Bye.